Final Saturday night score here at the AAC. Miami Heat 122, Dallas Mavericks 118, and Luka Doncic in the first quarter injures his ankle. So why do I feel so good about this? Well, first of all, hopefully the Luka x-rays, which came back negative, will indicate that this is not a long-term injury for him. But social media doctors aside, we're going to go ahead and let Casey Smith and the training staff kind of handle that. We'll get some more information from Rick Carlisle here shortly after this game. But here's the jump out reason for me that this was actually a game of optimism. After Luka goes out, listen, there's not only your best player, he might be the best player in the NBA right now, and you lose him, that should suck the wind out of the building, which it did for a moment. It should also logically suck the wind out of your team, and it didn't. The Mavericks were down 24 points early in this game and had every reason against a very quality Miami Heat team, which came in with twice as many wins as it has losses. Very quality Miami team, and Miami could have and should have put Dallas away, especially because the Mavericks had that wind sucked from them. But, boy, the Mavericks fought. And Hardaway with 28, Porzingis with 22, Maxi Kleber with 18, and yet this wasn't a game about stat sheets. One thing about the Mavericks, and largely because of Luka, and I mean this in the best way, he is such a box score stuffer that one thing when it comes to watching the Mavericks is you want to go look at the numbers. Did Luka get 30? Did Luka get 40? Did Luka get a double-double? Did he get a triple-double? Tonight wasn't about numbers. Tonight was about, and this is what's so impressive about it, and I'm interested to see if Rick Carlisle's views mirror this. Luka goes out, and in comes J.J. Barea. Not often used here. And J.J. Barea, with toughness and feistiness and talent, helps the Mavericks fight back into it. And then he alternates for the last 3 quarters or so with Jalen Brunson, who does the same thing. Now, Jalen Brunson did not play a perfect game. I think as a guy who came here, the first day he came here out of college, out of Villanova, he was pronounced to be a pro's pro, which is really odd since he just came off a college campus. But when Rick Carlisle said that last year, you knew what he meant. He's a very polished person, a very polished basketball player. But some mistakes tonight from Jalen Brunson that I'm sure he'd like to take back. And yet, again, the grit part of it, there's no question about. They lose Luka. They replace Luka at different times with Barea and with Brunson, and they get gritty production out of it to the point where they take this thing to the buzzer. Miami Heat 122, Dallas Mavericks 118. Dallas now goes on the road and faces another Eastern power, this one really powerful, in Milwaukee. Probably no Luka at this point, which means the Greek Freak and the Bucks versus the Mavericks, who will have to do it with talent, only a little bit less, and with grit, which they have plenty of. Fish out.